ReefDudes is sponsored by Brightwell Aquatics and Bulk Reef Supply.
Today we're going to check out the new ReefDelight NicoBar. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, I've actually never even heard of ReefDelight or the NicoBar up until about a week or two ago. Local buddy John was picking a bunch up for his tank, and he was raving about them, telling me I should try them as well. So I ended up tacking some onto his order so I can try it out with my tank as well. So he was using these as supplemental light to just kind of add filler on his tank and add more color pop. So they're supposed to be kind of similar to like a Reef Bright idea where you get that really nice punchy blue color pop. However, these are supposed to have a lot more par, and that's one thing that definitely interests me. I did borrow a couple of my buddies' XHOs, and mind you, the color looked amazing, but the par was a little low for what I wanted. So I'm hoping these will work. On my frag tank, I have roughly a 22-24 inch section in my sump that I want to start moving a bunch of my affiliate to and do like a rock flower affiliate garden down there just to free up some more tank space. So I'm thinking I'm going to put these on top of there and use it to light up that chamber. So hopefully these perform very well. So yeah, definitely, I'm pretty sure they're a fairly new company and a fairly new product. So I couldn't actually find a ton on there. So today we're going to do a little bit of unboxing and check it out, and hopefully they are awesome. And a very beefy, guy's got some weight to it, power supply, which looks like it can support up to 4 different LED fixtures. So you got one big power brick to power them all. We have a bunch of different little screw kits. We have an antenna, which should be for the optional Wi-Fi module. So this guy, instead of having your lights on and off, you can dim the channels and control each light, make schedules, and all that fun stuff for the common newer LEDs. And we got our little mounting brackets. Inside we got the LED bars. Very nice finish on them, actually. I do like the look of those. It's kind of a nice aluminum profile. There is a channel in the middle, so it looks like you could top mount the bar. There's side channels, so you could side mount the bar. So you could put your mounting hardware on the top or the side. So that's kind of a nice touch. Now for this, I went with 2 of the blue pops. So that's kind of like the 450, 460 peaking nanometers. And I went with 1 UV, which is the 420 to 440 peaks. Looking at the mounting bracket, looks like we can screw that up and attach the light, and it allows you to angle it to whatever side you want. So lots of different directions there, which is good. So you can kind of point it inwards or keep away from the edges of your tank. Less cleaning the glass is always a plus. Got our little control module. Little antenna, so I'll probably mount that just directly into the tank. Hopefully that still gets good reception there. Plug the light bar in to the relevant cables from power supply, plug in the Wi-Fi, plug in power, connect to the controller, make sure your app is closed before proceeding. So navigate to your Wi-Fi, connect to the ReefDelight Wi-Fi, and gives you the default password, then we connect it. So one thing to note, this is one big beefy power supply. It definitely does take up a chunk of space, and it does have some weight to it. However, you can power 4 lights off it. So it's a decent trade-off to be able to power that many lights. All right, so first step, let's connect to the ReefDelight Wi-Fi. Open the ReefDelight app. Now I've already done this step, but when you first open it, you go to settings, color channels, and select, make sure you're on 3 or whatever, however many bars you have is what you select. Now if you go to manual, you drag the bar, you can see your light up. So this is a good kind of manual way to test it. It's definitely got some good brightness to it. And we've got our 3 different color channels. Now I'm kind of curious to see how much of a difference this actually makes. Yeah, some really nice colors to the corals, so it's a nice LED mix for sure on that front. So I'm a little curious to see how much of a difference this makes in par. So without the light here, I am getting around 85 par. And if I put the light straight down, roughly I'm going to say about 8 inches above the water, I now have 250 par. So that's a decent jump. If I just sit on the side of the glass here, we're now up to about 340 par. Again, take the light away, I'm at 83. So that's a decent jump. Same thing if I put it on my little rock here. I'm going to hold the same height as my radions. Without it, we're currently at around 130, 140. With it, we're up to about 270. So pretty solid output from these lights. So this is on 100%, and this is the blue pop bar, so it adds a good chunk of power to it. And it definitely does add some really nice color to it. So they did do a good blend of LEDs on this one. Now we also have our UV pop one, and I'm curious to see which that one does. So down in the same spot, we're getting roughly 300 par with it at the water surface. And if we take it away, we're sitting around 85, 90 par. So that's a little over 200 par actually, so that's a good chunk. So far they definitely get the thumbs up in terms of color and in terms of par output, so that's both good to see. Now the next little bit of a challenge is going to be figure out how exactly I mount these on the frag tank. Probably just screw this into the board underneath it. My only slight concern is because I'm mounting it so high up in the stand, I'm probably going to get a light spill hitting on like kind of the skimmer and the clarity. So that's my only little bit of an issue, but we'll find a way to do it. We'll see how we can mount this up there, and there's no doubt in my mind I'm going to have plenty of par down there, so it's a good thing I got the dimmable controller. Now just to give you guys a little bit of comparison with the Reef Bright, since I have them sitting here, I actually was going to put these two Reef Bright strips in the sump, but it didn't quite have enough par for what I wanted to do. So if you look inside, it has the bare LEDs inside, and it's almost like a T5 style reflector all around it. So it's great for spreading out the light, but not as great for having a ton of par down below. Now on this guy, you can kind of see it is more distinct LEDs with lenses, and it does have a lot more par, and just that's kind of what I was after, just to make sure I have enough to grow LPS down there. So taking a look at the profile, you have the grooves on all three sides, which means you could put your mounting brackets on the top, the side, and you can slide them up and down the rail wherever you want. So kind of funky. So I do have them installed now, and I just got the two bars up there. And my only one little slight concern is I do have a lot of light spill that is now hitting my clarity. I have the skimmer cup off right now, so I'm just sitting there, but I am going to have to do something to maybe block a little bit of the light or just redirect a bit of it at the edge just to prevent a bunch of algae growing inside the filter roller or the skimmer. But for the actual corals down below, we now have a ton of light for them. So the rock flowers, I got my mushroom rock. So I am going to move some more stuff out from down there, and just for LPS and a few things just to free up some more space in the frag tank. And one of the best parts of this is you don't see them. So they're tucked up high, so below, or up I guess rather, inside my little rails. So there's gonna be nothing in the way when I'm trying to maintenance the filter roller or the turf scrubber or the skimmer, which will keep this up nice and open. So yeah, overall pretty cool little lights. I've honestly never even heard of them before until my buddy was ordering them and decided to grab a couple as well. Thought I'd give you guys a quick peek. And a little bit of update on the frag tank. I'm still battling this algae. I don't quite know what the heck it is. It kind of comes and goes, and I dipped everything in peroxide and it looked fabulous for like a week or two, and then it came back. So I just dosed some fluconazole the other day. That's kind of why the skimmer cup's off, just so I'm not pulling anything out. But dose a little fluconazole in there and hopefully that will get rid of it. And hopefully the frag tank will be back to pristine. And yeah, so decided to use that chamber of the sump and reclaim some space. So if you guys enjoyed this little update on the frag tank and checking out the new NicoBars, if you guys enjoyed this, the like button for new, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next update.